Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of The Adventures of Robin Hood. I already spoiled you some of the experience in my very first episode, but I believe if you're watching the first episode you are still okay. Are really not giving away too much with that. That's about to change if you are going to watch the second episode of this first chapter. I still think it's more or less a introductory scenario or a chapter, but still there are things that you will be able to explore. I think there's at least one maybe core mechanic in this game which I will show you, but again, also not that big of a deal, bear with me. But I will really leave it up to you, so it's on your own risk if you want to watch the second episode or not. I will mark this video with spoiler warnings. Again, I have received a lot of comments. Most of those say, yeah, let's keep going. Some of them said, no, that's fine. I learned what I needed to learn about this game. That's okay, but you don't have to watch it. Again, majority of you guys wanted to see me continue playing this game here, or this first chapter, but then I will really stop and will not go deeper into the story. That's then really something for you to explore. Again, I might consider doing then the solo scenario at some point in time, but yeah, let's see about that. So far, we don't really know what the goal of this very first chapter is, and there was also an interesting comment who asked me exactly this. Basically saying, yeah, great video, but I have no clue what you're trying to achieve here. That's because you don't know that yet. That's really something that will now unveil pretty much with the next page I'm about to show you. I think rules-wise there wasn't any major goof or mistake. I think I should be okay moving on. But the next page doesn't come with any narrative whatsoever. We are being told, hey, you have mastered another round, and then if you want to keep going, then keep going. We are putting all those discs back into the bag. We will come with those hourglasses, 6 of those. This is now the real timer of the game, so we will place 6 of those tokens on top of the little book here at the bottom of the game board. And whenever we are running out, we will read the chapter in the book that corresponds, or page in this book that corresponds with the current chapter. So this might change throughout the game, but if we are failing, so really as soon as we are removing the last of those hourglasses, we will have automatically lost the game. And this will be triggered by various things in the game. First of all, if this bard will reach the 0, for example, at the end of a round, or some other events will basically take some of those away. But finally, we are being told what the goal of this chapter is. We have to meet in the shadow somewhere outside of the castle, in the same shadow zone, before the last hourglass is being removed. Awesome stuff. We have a bonus mission, which is related to Maid Marian here. She has to meet Father Egbert, that's tile 150, before she meets the others in the shadows. And then we are basically keep playing, which means we are drawing our next disc from the bag. And that's Maid Marian. Again, she has to make it from here all the way up to this location over here. Again, she could, in theory, move through the courtyard here. But I think there is another way we can do that. And that's one of the things I'm now giving away to you. I think it's really not secret, because if you're really paying attention to what's going on the game board, you will notice that here is a little boat, and the boat is right next to her. Again, this can change throughout the game, so some of the scenarios could tell you you don't have the boat available to you. So that's really something for this specific scenario, and I think we have to use the full movement for her to make it there. And I think let's do that. So we go with 1, 2, yeah, that's definitely not good enough, so we are moving one step closer here. Again, we only need to touch the tile here, and then we are going to read 208, which says, you find a boat on the riverbank. Do you want to use it? The book then tells us if we want to use it, we have to place 2 of those purple cubes into the bag. So we are messing with our chances, but then we can move our figure to the opposite side of the river. And I think that's what we're going to do. And we're also being told that the boat can only carry 2 persons max. So I guess let's do that. So we will place 2 of those purple cubes into the bag. We are moving our figure here to 209. We have to flip it over. over, of course. So now the boat is here, and we have to flip the boat on the other side of the river. Obviously, I'm doing this now off camera, which now means if we want to make it back, we can make it back from this space over to the other space. But that's already the end of her turn. But from here, Maid Marian should be able to make it to Father Egbert during the next round or so. And the good thing is that the guard who is watching the gate here doesn't see into this clearing here, because it's interrupted by this shadowy area. So his line of influence, or this area of influence, will stop here, which is really crucial. Of course, other guards could show up during the end of this round or so. Okay, then let's draw the next disc, and we have green, which means Robin goes next. Yeah, what's Robin going to do? That's now a very interesting thing to do, because in theory he could try to help his friend Little John, but he should also somehow make it out of that clearing there, make it into the shadow, and maybe preparing to go where he needs to go. And I think I have an idea where those guys could meet. Obviously I know, because I have played the game before. So I think I should move closer to the castle walls. I think that much is clear. So maybe we make it down here, but should we move as quickly as possible? I think so. I think we should. Again, time is not so much of an issue in this very first scenario, but still, let's try to make some progress. So will we able to make it into this? I think we are not, actually. So maybe we are not moving as quickly as I thought we would. Because with the last one here, we are not going to make it into the full shadows, and a guard could appear here. And if the guard appears there, we are really in trouble. On the other hand, being then captured here might also not be the end of the world, because we would move there too. But no, I think not. We will move more slowly. So apologies for changing my mind constantly. But I think let's try to stay in the shadow. So we haven't used our long movement, which means we can place one white cube into the back. I think that's something that we should do anyway, because we just added 2 purple ones in there. And then, yeah, let's draw the next disc. So it's either blue or red. Let's see about that. And it's blue. Okay, our heroes will go first. We have to make it out of the castle walls. Obviously, I know what needs to be done, but also, honestly, I basically did the same thing with my first action when I played Little John, the first time I played this scenario. So I think I'm not really spoiling this to you. And again, if you are paying attention to what's going on here, you will notice, hey, there is a rope and there is no one next to the gallows. So I guess that's definitely our bad. Of course, we could now use our little thing here, but I think let's not do that. We don't need to. We just need to touch it like this, which also means, again, we can add another white cube there. Maybe there is a test or so. Let's see about that. But obviously, we are now checking 121, which says what you are doing here is highly risky. What if a guard spots you? Carefully, you untie the noose and wind up the rope. So we are basically getting the rope now, which also means we place one of our cubes onto this equipment spot here. And there's more equipment coming, but we'll not show you what kind of equipment is coming. So we see a sword, we see a horn. So all things that we could maybe find throughout this scenario here. So there could be definitely other ways to make it there, because I'm pretty sure you might be able to find those. And again, I'm not showing you everything, how you can beat this scenario. I think this is one way how to deal with this. There could be another one, actually. But we are also being told that if we have the rope here, we can now use the rope for this wall here. And I will show that to you when we get there. And again, at any point in time, you can say, okay, now I have seen enough. I will not watch any further and will try to explore things on my own. But again, that's totally up to you. But that's already the end of Prince John, Little John's turn here. Then we are drawing the last disc, and we know it's the red one, which means terrible things are about to happen. The sheriff sees the approach of a carriage decorated with gold. At last, he is here. Okay, so now we are turning over the tile 24, which is down here in the forest. So that's the carriage. Oh, that's the carriage. That's a gold decorated carriage. The land will also lose 1, 2, 3 hope. And then we are also turning over some more guards. So we are turning over this one. So yes, it was good that I made it here. I really didn't remember this particularly. I really didn't. That this particular guard, and again in the later chapters of the game, this is also driven by some randomization, which is something I really quite like. It's not that scripted in the, let's say, normal mode of the game, but I think we have to flip over 2 more guards actually. One is over here, so that's really a problem because Maid Marian needs to go or wants to see Father Egbert here. And we are also flipping guard number 4, who is over here next to the castle wall. And also maybe problematic because Prince John might try to consider moving down here, but there are some shadow areas. I think that's still okay. We are not getting captured in any way, which is good. No, we don't. But last but not least, we are removing one of those hourglasses and also the hourglass from that guard up there. So the next time this guy is activating, he might flip back, and then we are in a bad shape. But there are really a lot of shadowy areas here, so I think Little John should be okay. And as this, oh no, and then we are also still placing more purple cubes into the bag, 1 per player actually, and that's definitely getting nasty. It's really a nasty balance in there now. No, I think it's still okay. We should be able to deal with it. But now it's really the last disc from the bag, so we are putting everything back in, and we are continuing to read on page 80 now, which comes with a new rule. We are allowed to put the gray disc into the bag, and the gray disc is kind of a wild card, so whenever we are drawing this, we can nominate a player to use this as their own disc. So 1 player will go twice as of the next round. That's definitely a good thing. And then we also do some reading actually. The drums are rolled and the fanfares blare. We are now pretty much moving the carriage from down here in the forest into the castle accordingly. And let's continue to read. Since King Richard is on his crusade, the country is being ruled by his younger brother, Prince John. It is he who now steps out of the magnificent carriage. The Sheriff of Nottingham bows deeply to the prince, but Little John only thinks, Prince John in Nottingham? What is the meaning of this? Now we are basically continuing to read on page 19, which only means we are now going through this loop here, programming loop, until we trigger one of the end game conditions. Okay, next disc. Now we have the gray one in there, keep that in mind. And it's Maid Marian who goes first again. That's now interesting. Will she be able to make it here to Father Egbert in one go? Because if not, we might want to, I think it's definitely problematic, because this nasty guard, I think we are okay actually. Yes, and we cannot move over the guard, but I think we are able to make it to that time. I think, yeah, I have to move, but still, if we are turning it, yes, that's fine. And I think I will take the risk, because if we are drawing gray before we are drawing red, we might be able to move her into safety actually. Yeah, let's do some reading, page 150. Father Egbert already wants to shoo you away when he recognizes you. Lady Marian, what are you doing here? I'm here because I need to know why you are saying my father is a heretic. I fear it is the truth, my child. I am sorry. He confessed it by himself to having sacrificed to the old gods. I do not believe you. Where is he now? I don't know, my dear. Look, when the sheriff's guards were about to arrest him, this fellow shows up and fiercely fought to help your father escape. Of course, the man was eventually overpowered. Little John is his name. Do you know him? He is to be hanged this very day. Your father, an escaped heretic, and Little John on the gallows? Was it already too late to save him? So we are turning over this. So he pretty much escaped into the chapel, into the church here. But we are now really exposed. So if we are drawing the red disc, then Maid Marian is being captured here, which might be kind of a problem. But yeah, let's see about that. Let's draw the next disc. And let's simply hope for the gray one. Okay, here's the next disc. And it's blue. Okay, it's Little John. And I think Little John wants to move here. Of course, we have to also follow those stairs here. We somehow have to make it past the carriage, but I think we should be okay, actually. Yeah, we will not quite make it, unfortunately. Where is the other blue? Maybe we can. Let's see. We can really maximize this. Okay, we are running over here. We are running there. And no, I think we barely don't make. It's so close, so close. But okay. But should we now use this thing, the long one? No, I think that's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. We will leave Little John next to the wall. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it to tile 111 here, which is really a bummer, but it is what it is. Okay, next game. And now we more or less reached a point in the game where we stopped actually reading too much, but really started to plan things. Where should we move? How should we move? Fast or slow? Which is really something the game does pretty well in respect to balancing. And bam! Of course, it's the red disc. Again, the country will lose 1, 2, and 3 hope in this point in time. I think we are not flipping any more guards now. Nope, but unfortunately it means Maid Marian is being captured. And because she was being captured, we will lose 2 more hope. And I guess we are now, yeah, we are removing 1 more hourglass. And if hope should now be at 0, we would lose another hourglass from that. Yeah, we are placing more purple cubes into the bag, 1 per player, and then we are continuing to draw. I believe only green and gray are in there. And now I have my doubts if I should use gray for Maid Marian, because of course she could she could still try to overcome him, because if she is successful, we will hide this guard. Okay, let's see about that, but let's see. We have to draw something first. And it is the gray one, and then it's green. Should we now make sure Little John is escaping, or should we deal with Maid Marian first? Because I believe nothing really could hurt her from now. On the other hand, I believe Robin Hood has the longest journey, because I think we either want to move here or there in the shadows. Again, outside of the castle. That's our goal. She has met with Father Egbert, but of course she has to make it out of that escape too. No, let's use gray to activate Maid Marian. So she's trying to break free from her captor. Okay, that's the first one. We are drawing up to 3. Keep that in mind. Second one. Oh, come on, please. White. No! That's bad. That's truly bad. So we were not able to make it. Good thing is those purple cubes are out of the bag now. Oh boy, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's really terrible. Yeah, I mean, these 3 extra cubes, purple cubes, didn't necessarily help. Oh boy, that's really bad. But okay, now we know it's only Robin Hood who is left in the bag, and I think we really still want to move. Okay, how far can we move with just the short ones? Would this be actually an option? to move him slower now. Or should we? No, I think we have to move. We really have to move. Yeah. Let's do it like this. Yeah, okay. That was a relatively dull turn for Robin, but I think our goal is to really move as quickly as possible. In theory, he could consider taking down this guard with his next activation, but that's actually the end of the round. So we are placing all those discs back, and now we stay on the same page, which means we simply continue to draw our next disc. So let's see what we get. And that's red. That's red. Again, we are losing 3 hope. We are already down to 6. We will lose the topmost hourglass. We already know that. No one is getting captured because Robin Hood is hiding in the shadows between those 2 guys here. So we are not losing any further hope. The problem is we are putting in 3 more purple cubes. And that's really a nasty thing. That's truly a nasty thing. Okay, yeah, that's, nothing we can do about it. So we have to continue to draw, and it's blue next. So which means Little John wants to escape. So I guess we are moving here. That was our first movement. So let's simply put it like this. And then we are flipping this one over. So we see this nice little thing. We are removing the cube because our rope is now hanging here. Not sure, should I have flipped the gallows? I think I should have flipped the gallows actually. Yes, apologies for that. I missed that. Really not a big deal. We still have, no, we don't have any more movement. That was our encounter. Oh, that's terrible, but also good because we are placing 1 cube into the back. We cannot interrupt our movement. That's bad, but okay, with the next move we should be able to deal with that. But it's getting close actually. I think it's really getting close. Okay, but let's see about that. That was the blue disc from John Little, and then we are drawing gray. And again we can choose. That's now a tough one. But I truly think we have to get her out there. And I guess I forgot when we activated her, I forgot to place 1 white cube because she didn't move. Okay, I will now place in 2 white cubes. 1 for this movement and 1 for the cube we forgot to place. So maybe we should have been able to make it. But okay, I'm not taking it back. So that's kind of bad. Okay, that's a white cube. Perfect. We were able to take out that guard. So we are flipping him over. We are adding 1 of those things here. We are getting 1 hope back, so we are back at 7. That's something, and we are standing her up. And then I think it's only, oops, let's remove that. It's only, Maid Marian and Robin. Interesting. I would hope for Maid Marian to come out, and no, it's Robin, of course. That's a risk now, but I still think I'm going to take that risk. So the idea was to somehow, take care of this guard down here. So we are placing Robin there. And with our action, we are trying to attack that guard here. I think, we can place 1 white cube in the back too, because we have not used our long movement. And then up to 3 cubes. So let's see about that. And that's purple. That's not a good start. Good thing is nothing happens. So let's say we don't attack him successfully. Nothing happens. But yes, we were successful. Cool stuff. So we are flipping this guy over too. Again, we are getting 1 hope, which means we are now at 8. And we are also placing 1 of those hourglasses on that. Okay, I think now I feel we are in a good shape. We should be able to deal with that. Okay, then we know that's the last disc. That's the yellow one. And again, the idea was to meet in the shadow of this thing here. So we are placing her somewhere in here. I guess we are allowed to place a white cube into the bag accordingly, but I don't think we need those white cubes anymore. And then, yeah, we are moving into the next round. And again, now this game really starts moving. When you stop reading and not exploring too much. I mean, there are things to explore, like this guy here, for example. What can he bring us? Can he help us in any way? I'm not checking this out. That's really then for you to decide if you want to learn about those fellas in the village or not. But let's draw our next cube. Okay, that's blue. Blue is cool. And again, the book tells you how you are allowed to move along that rope here. But I think we will now move pretty much. Oh, can we make it? Can we make it? Can we make it into the shadows? No, we can't. But that's okay. We still have the gray one here, so he has used the rope. The rope will stay here, not for the rest of the game, for this chapter, but typically something that you will reset every game round, so someone will find those between chapters and whatnot. But in theory, someone else could also use this rope to climb back into the castle here, for example. Okay, that was Little John's activation. So let's remove that disc, and yeah, does it matter too much? I don't think so. And that's red. Okay, we know the drill. 1, 2, 3, hope. We are adding 3 more purple cubes into the bag, but again, it doesn't really matter too much. We are not getting captured. We are removing one of those, and we are removing one of those. And I guess we are not getting captured because none of those guards will flip anymore. Not in this scenario. In other scenarios, they certainly will. Rest assured. And then, yeah, it's gray. I think with gray, what still do we have in here? Green and yellow. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. So let's use gray for Robin. Oh, should we be able? No, I think we are not, huh? I think it's just not enough to make it. And I'm cheating here. No, I think not. But with his next movement, next activation, he should be able to make it into the shadow. Then we know yellow is next. We are not going to use yellow. We are placing 1 white cube in there. No, we are not actually. What am I talking about? We are, I think green is in there. What am I talking about? Green is in there. And yeah, green will simply move in here. Then we are placing a white cube into the bag, and then I think that's it, right? Did I now forget to move yellow? But doesn't matter. She's already in there. So we are placing those cubes back in the bag, and then it's all about finding the writing. In theory, we need gray. Okay, red means 1, 2, 3 more hope. We are losing 1 of our hourglasses, but this also means the game was pretty close, because this is the last hourglass here. And if we would have also been captured 1 more time, this would have moved to 0, 2, and then this also means we would have removed 1 of those, which means we might have lost the game. So maybe it's not that kind of a cakewalk that I already told you, unless I really messed something up along the way. Maybe I was too eagerly drawing out those or removing those hourglasses. I don't know, but right now it is what it is. We should be able to make it, because all we need is the blue or the gray. Maid Marian not doing anything. There is blue. Blue will move into the shadow, and this means we have now met in the shadows outside of the castle, and we have not lost the game. Obviously, there is a little bit more of reading to do, so we would now read page 20, would check were we successful or not. But that's the one piece. I'm not going to spoil you how the story will now unfold any further. So I think we are being explained some of the stuff, how we are also preparing the game board for the next round, what we are changing, how we are removing, and also again some of the narrative that will now really connect those chapters into an overarching storyline, which is really nicely done in this game. I really hope you have enjoyed my little playthrough of the adventures of Robin Hood. I will not apologize for the spoilers, because I really warned you in advance enough. It was really up to you if you wanted to watch it or not. Still, I again hope you enjoyed it. Somewhat huge shout out to all of my patrons out there. Really do appreciate all your support. Again, if you want to support my channel, you will find a link to my page on Patreon. You can join me here on YouTube. Like and subscribe, this always helps. And yeah, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. Again, maybe I will consider doing a solo playthrough of The Adventures of Robin Hood, which is kind of spoiler free to some extent, and will also it plays a little bit differently compared to the standard game, though there are some elements which you're adding as part of the solo experience here. Hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and until then, bye bye.